Hey, hi, Andy.
Hey, everyone. Just a heads up, we're going to give folks another minute to join. We'll start at 12:05 Eastern. And since we're doing Zoom for this call, and everyone technically has the ability to share their screen and speak, just ask that everyone please mute yourself, and feel free to go on and off video at your discretion. Hey, y'all, how are you doing?
Great, sir. How are you?
Good to see you.
Moved to New York. It's my first day at the office, actually.
All right. Congrats.
Thanks. Looking forward for this call.
Yeah, we're excited you could join. Okay, Juan, I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right. Welcome to the December 7th community call for the Forta Network. My name is Andy Beal. I lead ecosystem development here at Forta and have the pleasure of hosting these biweekly calls with members of the Forta community. If you're new to Forta, welcome. Forta's mission is to make DeFi and Web3 a safe place for you and your digital assets. And we do this by enabling a global community of developers to monitor the smart contracts that power the ecosystem. The purpose of these calls is to share updates on product, major milestones, features, network statistics, which we'll do today, current events, and then highlight cool things that are being built on the network and the community members that are responsible for them. Today's agenda is, and let me jump forward here in the slides, is we're going to start with network statistics, followed by two demos. We wanted to, I know we've done demos for both Forta Connect and Forta Explore in previous separate sessions for different groups, but we wanted to do it on a community call to try and encourage more developers to use Connect to publish an agent and to use the Explorer to subscribe. So we'll walk you through each of those very quick, very straightforward. And then we're going to highlight data science and machine learning on Forta. And this is going to be presented by one of the newest members of our core team, Mariko. So really excited to have her on the call today. And then we will wrap up by summarizing the last agent development contest that was sponsored by Open Zeppelin, and previewing the second agent developer workshop that we're going to have on this Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So let's jump into network statistics. So now that Forta is live, this particular section is going to be a fixture of every community call going forward. We want to give everyone a bird's eye view of activity on the network. So as of this morning, so this slide's a little bit out of date. As of this morning, I think we had 255 agents running on the network. I was publishing some test ones too in prep for the demo. So these numbers may deviate a little bit from what you see on the Explorer dashboard. But these agents are being run by 4 scanner nodes currently. Some of these agents are what we would refer to as example or test agents for high gas use. So you'll see a lot of that running still, that developers have published, directly from our examples repo. We will be trimming these agents periodically to minimize noise and spam, but we don't want that to discourage any developers from continuing to sort of familiarize themselves and test out agent development and publishing. So please continue to do that. And like I said, every so often, we will prune the active agents if they get too unruly. We also have 588 registered agent developers, which is really exciting. Most of whom have published at least one agent on the network. So pat yourselves on the back if you're in that group. That's really exciting. We also have 11,000 members in the Discord community now, and want to thank all of our moderators and ambassadors who are helping us sort of manage that community day to day. I know some of you are on this call, so thanks again for your support. Couldn't do it without you. I also want to highlight on the right side of the screen too, the last 2 months, we've been onboarding our first cohort of DeFi protocols, and this is really exciting. This is this is our sort of primary user group for Forta right now. And proud to say we now have active agents running for some of the largest DeFi protocols, including Instadapp, Aave, Poly Network, Balancer, UMA. Compound is also on that list. And expect probably another half dozen or so agent suites for various DeFi protocols to be published over the next 2 weeks. I know those teams are sort of in final stages of development and review before they publish. So that's going to be really exciting. So we should have 10 or more of sort of the premier DeFi projects that are now using Forta to actively monitor aspects of their system. So really exciting. And if you're part of those dev teams that are working with those protocols, thanks again. We really appreciate the support. Okay, I want to jump into the first demo of the day here. Let me stop sharing and pull up another window here. Okay. All right. So first demo of the day is going to be publishing an agent using Forta Connect. So I know Forta Connect is an application that we've talked about on probably, I think, 2 previous calls at this point, but we haven't actually walked through a demo on a community call. So we wanted to do that briefly today. The URL for Connect is connect.forta.network. So at any point, feel free to visit that during this call and check it out yourself. So I'm going to publish a test agent here for you live. So if you go to Connect, you'll see a purple button at the top that says Create Agent. So we're going to click on that, and I'll say that while we're setting this up, you will need a MetaMask address to publish. Your wallet address also serves as your identity on the network. So I'll exit out of this window real quick. So I'm already connected. You'll see my Space Monkey Forta profile on the top right there. So my MetaMask address is already connected. I'm connected to the Polygon network. That's the network we use to record published agents. So if your MetaMask is set to mainnet, for example, it'll ask you to change networks. So you'll just need to approve that change. So we're going to go back to create agent. We have a really simple form here. So I'm going to do to probably our core dev team's amusement here, another high gas use agent. And we'll set the description to alert if transaction exceeds X gas use threshold. Okay. And we'll put a version here. I'm going to leave the repo blank because this is just a test. And then I'm going to grab a Docker image for this agent and copy and paste it here. Okay. You can create and push a Docker image using npm run push. If you're looking at our docs and using the SDK, this will build your agent code into a Docker image and upload it to Disco. We also encourage everyone to upload documentation for your agent. So this would explain what the agent is monitoring and some of the details around, alert severity and things like that. So I'm going to skip that step here. But again, if you're publishing an agent, we do encourage you to attach documentation so that everyone else in the network, can has some context for what your agent does and is trying to monitor for. So we're going to create this. This is going to pull up a signature request for me. I don't know if you can see that on my screen share, but I'm going to very quickly sign that. And it should only take a couple seconds. Okay, so agent was created. So you can go to your agent page. So this is another cool feature of Connect. And each published agent has essentially a profile page with additional details. You'll see all the details that I entered into the form are now here in the details page, as well as an agent ID. And this is going to be important for subscribing, which is going to be the next demo. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that for now. If you didn't attach documentation when you initially published, you still do have the option of uploading docs later on. Whichever wallet address published has the ability to manage this agent. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll go back, and you'll see my agents are listed here at the top on the homepage, right? So there is a options button on the far right. I do have the ability to edit this. That'll take me to the details page, and I can edit that information. I can also disable this agent. I know when I was talking about some of the test agents that developers have published to the network, if you are just testing it out, we do encourage you to publish, and then maybe after a couple days disable those agents so that we're not overwhelming the network. Once you disable it, it will remain here. So you'll see this morning I was playing around with this and published and disabled several agents. You can also reactivate these as well once you pull them down. So, okay. So that is publish an agent through the Forta Connect app. Again, it's connect.forta.network. You just need a MetaMask wallet to do this, and you need your MetaMask wallet to be connected to the Polygon network. That's important because Forta subsidizes the transaction fee associated with the publish transaction. If you do it through the CLI, you will need to pay that fee in Matic yourself. So again, not particularly expensive, but just an extra step. And if you don't have Matic, you would need to acquire that to do it through the CLI. So a much more streamlined approach if you do it through the Connect app. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go back into this high gas use agent and just make sure I've got this agent ID copied. And I'm gonna go to the Explorer now. This will be the second demo. So again, for those who are new to Forta, Explorer is an application that's sort of our equivalent of Etherscan. It has sort of high-level details on network statistics, but it also has a real-time feed of alerts. And I'll click on that right now, and let me filter some of these out of here. So this is a real-time feed of all agents that are firing on the network right now. And again, you have a lot of different options here to search by address, text, you can search by protocol, transaction hash, agent ID. So we want to make it really easy to find what you want to find. We're going to subscribe to an agent. There's a bright colored box here at the top right called subscribe to alerts. So again, you will need your MetaMask address to interact with the Explorer's subscription feature. So I am signed out now, so I'm going to re-sign a connection here. Okay. I also want to point out that if you are subscribing and you would like your alerts via email, which I'll walk through here shortly, you will need to verify your email address. So Forta will send you an email verification link, and you'll just click on that. And you'll need to do that before the alerts start working. So let's add a new subscription. So I'm gonna remove this one, which you have the ability to do through the dashboard here. Okay, and we're gonna subscribe to the agent that I just published through Connect. So we're gonna select agent ID. You also have the ability to select contract address. But for this demo, we're gonna do the agent ID. So I'm gonna paste that agent ID in. And we're going to do email. You also have the ability to subscribe via Slack. You would just need a Slack webhook URL and you would copy and paste it in the field here. We're going to do email and we're going to do have this go to info@forta.org. And I'm going to hit subscribe. And I've already pre-verified the info@forta.org email. So you'll see that green verified box down there. That's how you know that your email's been verified by the network, and you'll see your subscription here. Now, once you've done this, alerts should start coming into your email or your Slack channel, however you've configured your integration, pretty immediately after this. And like I said, you do have the ability to edit the subscription. You can also remove the subscription going forward. I think one of the things we're looking for feedback on is the user experience around this. So if you are using Explorer and are subscribing to agents that are running on the network right now, and you have recommendations, constructive feedback around the ease of use. I know our team is really interested in that. So please reach out with that feedback. Okay. The last thing I did want to mention here before I pass it off to Mariko is that if you are an OpenZeppelin Defender user, you can also subscribe to Forta agents directly from your Defender dashboard. Defender is now free to use up to a certain point. And in a very similar fashion, you can subscribe using the agent ID and contract addresses through the Defender dashboard. So if your team is using Defender, or if you are interested in using Defender, there's really simple Forta agent integration through that dashboard too. So wanted to call that out. So with that, I will pass it off to Mariko. Mariko, let me pull the slides back up for you. And I will run, just tell me when you'd like to advance to the next slide, okay?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, thanks, Andy.
Yep.
I can start from the very beginning, the title. Yeah, great, thank you. Great. Hi, I'm Mariko. I recently joined the Forta core dev team to lead the data science and machine learning efforts for the protocol. For those of you who are wondering what data science and machine learning have to do with Forta, I'm excited to give you a rough idea of what's coming in the near future today. Next slide, please. So first, I don't want to assume everyone here knows what data science and machine learning is, so I'll just give you a brief definition. It's a field of study that combines statistics and math to help you understand data better. For example, it can help you extract meaningful insights from data and identify patterns in the data. And behind the scenes, data science and ML powers many of the services you might be using day to day. So you're probably seeing product recommendations on e-commerce websites. Most spam filters have ML running today for your emails, and most financial products like banks, credit cards, and digital payment processors try to flag fraudulent transactions. So at most of these existing businesses and institutions, the problem, as you might imagine, is centralized data. All that data is locked up and used for their sole benefit. In contrast, all the data on Forta is available to everyone. Next slide, please. So we believe there's going to be a unique opportunity for the Forta community to take advantage of the open data and collaborate on new data science and machine learning solutions together. So for example, we can begin to extract trends and insights from alerts that may be helpful to improving blockchain security. And with the right tools and data, Forta can also begin to detect threats and exploits before they happen with increasing accuracy over time. Next slide, please. So how can we get started? Well, today you just learned that you can subscribe to specific alerts and get an email or Slack notification about them. That can be useful if you like to take immediate action after an alert was emitted. However, to extract trends and detect patterns from the alerts, we'll first need access to historical alerts. And the dev team is planning to make this available to the Forta community sometime next year in 2022. Next, please. So this is just the beginning. Forta's goal is to build tools to enable the community to extract insights from alerts and protect the open economy. And I'll need the community's help to do that. In the next couple of months, my focus will be to figure out the tools the community needs the most to help with data analysis and ML and Forta alerts. So if you see yourself or if you have friends and colleagues who might need historical alerts soon, I appreciate if you can fill out this short survey or just share it. Basically, I'd like to learn more about your needs and how you like to use the data. So I will shortly share the survey in the Zoom meeting now, and then Juan will share it on Discord. So thank you. Next, Andy will talk more about the recent Asian developer contests and upcoming workshops.
Thanks, Mariko. Okay, so just a recap of the contests. I know some of you have participated in these. These are essentially week-long hackathons that we're hosting every 2 weeks right now. The goal of the contest is to attract more developers to Forta, give them opportunities to start building agents for major DeFi projects, and also expose those DeFi projects to Forta and the benefits of a decentralized security network and developer community. Our first 2 contests were sponsored by Compound and Aave. Our most recent one that wrapped up last week was sponsored by OpenZeppelin. We had over 20 developers submit agents as part of the OpenZeppelin contest. And all of those developers have been notified. I just want to sort of call them out right now. So for challenge 1, Kovart, Vivolosky, and Roderick, thank you all for participating and the quality of the work. Challenge 2, Karmakoma, Kovart again, and NF Melendez, thank you all for participating. For developers, these contests are important, I think, not only to get familiar with the agent development process. You can also earn rewards, but you can also start building a reputation in the Forta community, which is going to be increasingly important as the network grows. So everyone who participates will be getting an NFT, and special NFTs are awarded to the winners. So again, these are intended to be fun, but also educational for developers, value add for the protocol teams that are sponsoring, because they get actual publishable agents that they can subscribe to. So you are as a developer participating in a contest, you do have a small role in actually securing the contracts of the protocols that are sponsoring these. So don't take that responsibility lightly. I'll also say that if you are on the call today and you work for a protocol team and you're interested in sponsoring one of our agent developer contests in the future, please reach out to us. We operate on we essentially have a calendar that we schedule. And like I said, usually every 10 days, we're able to run a contest. So if it's something you're interested in doing, please reach out to us and we can get you scheduled on the calendar. Another reminder, we have our second agent development workshop this Thursday. This Thursday, December 9th. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern. It'll run for 1 hour, hosted by Arbitrary Execution. This is a continuation of the developer workshop that we had last week. However, if you were not able to join the first workshop that we had, please join this one. The first workshop, last week's workshop, was more of sort of an overview of the approach to agent development, walking through some of the key steps and some of the tools and do's and don'ts. This one is going to be more what I would call hands-on. We're actually going to develop an agent live. We're going to walk through all those steps that arbitrary execution outlined in the first workshop. We're just going to instead of talking about it, they're actually going to do it live. So if you're interested in learning more about the development process, in particular, if you're interested in watching an experienced agent development team go through the process, Arbitrary's, one of the most experienced teams that we have in our community. They've worked with a number of, sort of top tier DeFi protocols over the last few months to onboard them. They've got a lot of unique perspective. They've encountered all challenges, very creatively sort of navigated them, and can share a lot of tips and tricks with you. So if you are available on Thursday, encourage everyone to join that. If you'd like to watch the recording of the first workshop, it is available on YouTube. I've got the link there. You can also just search the Forta Protocol YouTube channel, and it's posted there as well. So with that, I think we are done with the prepared agenda, and I can open it up to questions. If you do have a question, since we're on Zoom, just feel free to unmute yourself. We do have members of the core dev team on the line. So if you have more technical questions about Connect or Explore, feel free to ask them now too. If you have a question about historical alert data or some of the data science, machine learning topics Mariko talked about, feel free to ask her about those now as well. Just a reminder, if you have a question, feel free to come off mute and you can ask it live. I do see a couple questions. Artem and Andre, I'm gonna read these from the chat. So Artem asks, have you thought about developing Forta blockchain oracles? I wonder if they can be used to prevent attacks. Alex, Stephen, I'll throw that to you guys.
Well, so as far as the core dev team, we're looking at enabling. I do know that some of the agent requirements I've seen myself from some of the projects involve checking oracles, so kind of monitoring oracle activity to report potential issues, and that certainly is a both checking consistency of various on-chain data and also checking consistency between chains and checking consistency of chain data to off-chain data are all, we think, really viable uses of Forta. As far as possibly creating some kind of oracles, if you mean that definitely has not been discussed, or I haven't heard that being discussed. If you have a further follow-up question on that, be happy to field it. And if anybody else has a observation there, please share.
All right, thanks, Artem. All right, Andre, your question, a lot of community members are asking about your testnet. Will this testnet be incentivized? Jonathan, probably back to you. Do you want to talk generally about our approach to a possibility of a testnet?
Well, we are we're hard at work to put everything in place to allow more participation. The key next kind of big phase for us is to allow to begin to onboard node runners and enable permissionless node running. Concurrent with enabling permissionless node running, you can expect there will be our first entry into additional requirements for security and related incentives. So there are more information will be coming in the next few months, I would say, about the beginning of what will be an incentivized network. So keep on the lookout, but we're not quite ready to, we were still working on some of the details before we share the thinking with the community for feedback.
Thank you, Jonathan. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, I guess I'll, one additional reminder about the workshop on Thursday, and someone from the team will be sharing the Mariko's survey in Discord. So if you are, if historical alert data is interesting to you, if the machine learning sort of aspect angle of Forta data is interesting to you, please keep an eye out for that survey. We'd love to learn, what your requirements are, tooling preferences, things like that. That's going to help us sort of shape that aspect of the network. Okay. Well, if we don't have any other questions or comments from anyone, I think we can close it here. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Again, the next Agent Developer Workshop is going to be Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And the next community call will be in roughly 2 weeks. So we'll look forward to speaking with all of you there. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Andy. Great call. Thank you so much, Mariko. We'll be sharing the link on the Discord for the Thursday's workshop presently.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam. All right, have a good rest of the day, everyone. Cheers.